football. Eric Kendricks, Michael Kendricks, who ran a 4.4 coming out of Cal, and then Anthony Barr coming out of UCLA, who runs a 4.5. So, but hey, I would have took the money and ran to Minnesota, to be perfectly honest, if I was him. My brother, get a really great chance at a ring, but it is what it is. So, lastly, I kind of touched on this earlier. The SEC, pretty much now, you can go anywhere you want to. They ruled it last Friday that you can pretty much transfer as long as you don't have like a arrest charge or domestic violence, something like that, some kind of charge like that against you, or a drug charge. Then you're free to transfer within the SEC. And if you're like, let's say, a redshirt junior and your school's on probation and you're not going to be able to play next year, you're allowed to transfer. Oliver Luck is leaving the NCAA that's Andrew Luck's father. He was a former athletic director at West Virginia. He is becoming the commissioner of the XFL. That is a huge power move for the XFL and Vince McMahon, because Oliver Luck is actually a straight-up dude and knows how to run an organization, and it shows that the XFL is serious about actually getting the football aspect down packed. I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of washed-out college players who are super athletic, like 5-star guys, become stars in the XFL. I could see that's probably their talent pool that they're reaching for. JUCO guys who probably ran out and are looking for a shot at the NFL. I feel like that's kind of be their pool. They're probably going to go for just maybe not guys who have like dark like criminal histories, because that's kind of the rule. They're not going after guys like that. But definitely guys who, let's say, maybe got a bad rap at their school but can still play, just never got the chance. I could see that happening. Shout out to Kyler Murray, Oklahoma Sooners quarterback, and recently the 9th overall pick in the MLB Major League Baseball draft to the Oakland A's. I'm not an A's fan because they're stupid and they trade away all their best talent and they're dumb, but congratulations to Kyler Murray, who honestly is a freak of nature as an athlete. And coming out of high school, he was the number 1 overall dual threat quarterback. Yeah, he signed his deal with the Athletics. It was worth $5 million. His NFL future is kind of murky. I don't really see him panning out as an NFL quarterback. So why not be the 9th overall pick in baseball? Get your guaranteed money up front and go play baseball. Do that. There's way more money in it. And Oklahoma's whatever. Jordan Adams, 8th overall wide receiver in the 2008 recruiting class, who signed in North Carolina, was the 17th overall pick in the MLB draft to the Los Angeles Angels. My team, but I kind of have no faith in them because I know, Jackie, I'm getting to it, that like they all these years and they just keep disappointing me. Like, I was done with the Angels when they got rid of Mike Trumbo after his rookie year, and then he went on to have like 47 homers. I was pissed off. I still feel a way about that. I just refuse to be the one to say Mike Scioscia should be fired, because I think he should just stay there forever, because I don't want anybody else to coach the Angels. But they need to make better pitching decisions, and they're ruining Mike Trout's prime. But hey, Jordan Adams is a solid prospect, and good for him. Former Oklahoma quarterback Parrish Lee Cobb was sentenced to 18 years in prison for armed robbery. He pretty much pulled up on some Baylor students. He was actually, ironically, supposed to sign with Baylor. He ended up going to Oklahoma, robbed some Baylor students, and now, unfortunately, he's spending 18 years in prison. Pete probably in his head is making a Baylor joke right now. Some of my friends, Andrew, you're probably thinking, wow, KB used to be the athletic director for Baylor football. No, I wasn't. I never was. I was just a fan. Shout out to Josh Gordon, who got his life together and looks like the best receiver in football. So good for him, and I can't wait for Hard Knocks to pop up, because the rule is for the Browns now, what they're doing is no one can get their stripes until you make the roster. So, Yeah. I just want to say shout out to Josh Gordon. That'll probably be the only Cleveland Browns plug you ever hear from me. The Pac-12 passed a bowl rule restriction. You pretty much, what the rule is now, to get a bowl invitation in the Pac-12, you have to win 6 games. Some conferences let you win 5 games and get a bowl game, but that's mathematically disgusting, and a bunch of teams get left out. So that's the rule now in the Pac-12. And sadly, that's why they'll never be the SEC, because unlike the SEC, the Pac-12 doesn't take shortcuts. Oh, sometimes they do when it comes to officiating. But when it comes to actual talent and, parity, they don't take shortcuts. So shout out to the Pac-12. Houston landed like 8 transfers. Literally, Houston is just that one school this offseason. The Cougars have landed 8 different transfers, one of which was a Baylor running back who has 2,000 career rushing yards, has 3 years of eligibility left. So, shout out to Houston. They'll be the best team a junior college could buy, but mostly they just got a bunch of leftover transfers. So, shout out to them. Luke McCaffrey, younger brother of Christian McCaffrey, 6'3", 205 pounds. Quarterback, dual threat guy, signed with Nebraska. He actually might be the player that brings Nebraska out of football septic tank. I don't know. Nebraska's terrible at football, so he's probably going to be. He's their best recruit other than a running back. So good for him. Unfortunately, Jack Jones, Long Beach native, USC cornerback. He is academic. He was ruled academically ineligible. He led the team with 4 interceptions last year. Got picked on a lot. I talked mad shit about him on Twitter in the Texas game. I'm still hot about it, but mostly I blame the D coordinator, because you shouldn't put a 5'10" corner on a 6'6" receiver and let him throw fade routes on him all day. That's just disrespectful. That's wrong. So Clay Helton said that Jack Jones will pretty much go to a JUCO. Hasn't been announced yet. Go to a JUCO. Get his associate's degree, which takes 2 years. Depending on how many units you take, it could be faster. And he can come back to USC as a redshirt junior. Hopefully he does that, gets his life back on track. He's really talented. 2 really positive things that I want to end this college football segment on. Syracuse quarterback Rex Culpepper has been declared cancer-free after being diagnosed with testicular cancer in March. He rang a bell, suggesting, that he's done, he's free. Syracuse football is terrible, let's be honest. But anytime a dude beats cancer, that's the real victory. That's better than any national championship, because cancer sucks. And lastly, Ryan Helinski, brother of former Washington State quarterback, I want to say Drew Helinski, I'm forgetting his first name, but his older brother, Ryan's older brother, committed suicide a couple months ago for Washington State. He was actually pretty much in line to be the starting quarterback. Luke Falk had already graduated. He was going to be the guy, and he had played well. It's unfortunate that he took his life, but, depression, suicide, that's something that you really need to talk to people for. Help is essentially talking to people, because if you're just left with all that depression, it goes nowhere. But shout out to Ryan Helinski, because he's considered the 8th ranked pocket passer in the 2019. No, he's ranked 6th in the 2019 QB class. He made it all the way to the Elite 11, going into the last day of the Elite 11 competition. If y'all don't know, it's in Redondo Beach. Pretty much it's like the quarterback summit, the Elite 11. All the best quarterbacks in high school go there. Jameis Winston was there. The Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, some of the greatest quarterbacks you can think of. Matt Ryan, they were in the Elite 11. It's a real thing. It's legit. And some of the quarterbacks who don't necessarily get invited out of high school go back while they're in college, and they actually become counselors. Sam Darnold was there, a bunch of guys. But shout out to Ryan Helinski. His brother committed suicide while he was at Washington State. And Helinski swore that he would do right by his brother's legacy, go on to do great things. Hope he does great things at South Carolina. And yeah, kudos to him. Okay, so we're pretty much we're winding this down. If I forgot anything, oh well, 2 tears in a bucket. I can't. I'm literally running out of oxygen. Shout out to Lawndale High School again for them coming out. Coach Clark has done some amazing things, and really, that program, and I'm not just saying that because it's my alma mater, and because my older sister went there, and I went there, and my younger sister went there, and when I went there, Adrian Peterson did that infamous Nike commercial with the song Listed Demands by Saul Williams. Look it up. If you are in my age bracket, you remember that. But Lawndale was always seen as a school that was good, but it was never going to be great. It was never going to outspin the other schools that were richer, like North Torrance, El Segundo, all them other schools. A lot of us got looked at as like some hood booger ass kids. A lot of us who I know grew up out of that, graduated after 2010. We didn't get a lot of the stuff that Lawndale gave future classes, like all the academic outreach and all that, the technology. There's Macs in every classroom. My sister, when she was in high school, she literally would be working on a Mac all day. Like, I didn't see a Mac until I got to my junior college, working in a newsroom, and then mostly I saw it at CSUN. And CSUN don't even have some of the stuff that Lawndale got. I'm just keeping it honest. So shout out to them. Those young men, may they go on and live great, excellent lives and beat the shit out of Losinger and Hawthorne. Yeah, Courtside Radio, I'm talking about y'all. I want all the smoke. I probably shouldn't have hit that 3 times in a row, but I hate Losinger. I just want to point that out. One more Thunderstruck. Because you guys suck, and Lawndale holds the Mayor's Cup. And yes, this was a Homer episode. I don't care. But, yeah, to close it out for real. This podcast is kind of like when you go through life, you kind of deal with some things, you overcome it, you are scarred, you have a deeply flawed, fucked up sense of humor afterwards, but you still find the positivity in things. And then one day somebody else comes along and you didn't realize that they were watching you the whole time. And you realize, well, damn, like, this is bigger than me. This is something that is kind of all encompassing. So with that, I'm not going to say what this podcast is like anymore. I think that's up to the people who listen. Like Wu, he said what this podcast is to him. This podcast is to you, whatever it may be. I hope it's positive and it's uplifting. And I hope you play this to your kids and let them know that, yo, you want to be a baller, you want to make it to the league. It's not always about that. It's about, honor, respect, dignity, and being petty as fuck. I love y'all. It's also Grind Day here. Kenneth Berry. Hit me up on social media. Follow, like, subscribe to the podcast, and download the Good News Radio app. Stop bullshitting. Like, seriously, download the Good News Radio app. I'm not playing with y'all anymore. I love y'all, but I'm gonna need y'all to just download the app, please. Like, in case you didn't hear me the first 7 times, just download the app, please. Like, you went to the 200th episode and you still haven't downloaded the app. Why? I just want to know why. But anyway, it's me signing off. Shout out to Jackie for hanging around after all this. No, she's like, this dude really needs to get off the fucking mic. But anyway, I'm done. Y'all stay dope. Shout out to Pete. Boo Pete for not being here. Nah. Pete's cool. Pete was taking a mental health week, So,
okay.
like,